Hey everyone, so in last lecture we talked about mean or expected value of a random variable. So it is one of the statistical measure we saw, but we also saw that knowing the mean is not sufficient if you want to study the data. So in the same lecture, like the last lecture, I showed you 4 figures, right? And in all those 4 figures, data were distributed very differently, but they still all had the same mean or the same expected value. So therefore, knowing only one statistical measure, which is the mean, is not sufficient. One should know more statistical measures if you want to study the data nicely. So among them, variance and standard deviation, these two are more nice statistical measure which people use. Among this also, standard deviation is very much, is used very widely. Okay, so today we are going to concentrate on variance and standard deviation for a given random variable. Okay, so what do you mean by variance? Then we'll come to standard deviation. So what is a variance? It tells you, like, see, what is mean or the expected value of a random variable? It's a number. What does that number represent? It tells you how the where the probability distribution is centered. Okay, it tells you where the probability distribution is centered for given random variable. What does variance tell you? It tells you from the center, from the mean, how far the data is distributed. It tells you variability. It gives you the variability of the data for a given random variable from its mean, because mean is in the center. So from center, how much the data is deviated. So therefore, variations is nothing but the variability in the data from the mean. That's in the simple sense. Standard deviation is also the same thing, but little bit more nicer number. Both of them are number, but SD is a more nicer number. We will come to it. So like I have drawn one more example over here. So like this is a random variable x whose range set is 1, 2, 3, and this is this probability distribution. Now what is the expected value of x or the mean of x? It is summation x into f of x. So 1 into 1 by 4 plus 2 into 1 by 2 plus 3 into 1 by 4. So answer will come out to be 2. Okay, what about this? So this is again some random variable, say y, and this is the probability distribution of y. Here also do 0 into f of x plus 1 into f of x plus 2 into f of x plus 3 into f of x plus 4 into f of x. So both of them give the answer 2, but you can see that the data is distributed very differently. Okay, so that's what I was saying, that knowing the mean is simply not enough. So variance of a random variable is defined as like this. Okay, and the notation is sigma square. And what is standard deviation? It is defined as positive square root of sigma square. Now let us try to understand this definition. Okay, now see, what is variance? Or it's nothing but how the data is deviated from mean. So since deviation is there, that's why x minus mu. And now we square this. Why do we square? I will come to it. So now this is again a random variable. If x is a random variable, this is again a random variable, because you take different values of x, this will give you different values. Now this is also a random variable. Now you find the expected value of this. You find the expected value of this, which is summation x minus mu the whole square into f of x. And this is nothing but our variance. Okay, now why do we take square? If we only take the expected value of x minus mu, do we get anything? Answer is no. Your answer will always be 0. Let's have a look. What is this? Summation x minus mu into f of x. You take this inside. So summation x f of x minus mu into summation f of x. But we know that sum of the probabilities is always 1. So this is nothing but 1. What is summation x f of x? It is nothing but the mean. So mu minus mu is 0. Okay, so if you simply take the expected value of x minus mu, your answer will always be 0. That's obvious, right? Because mu is centered. So for some this will be negative, for some this will be positive, and when you take the average, everything gets cancelled out. Okay, so therefore only taking this will not work, therefore we are taking the square. Now you will say, if we take the square, then whatever the number we will get, x minus mu square, won't that number will be large, and how that big number will give you the variance for x? Okay, well, once we are squaring and then we're taking its average. So even though this number is big, when we take the average, number becomes small. So that is one justification. So the number that we get is still a good number to tell about the variance of x. Okay, but then again, still, if you want to more nicer number, or you want more finarity, okay, you want to finer the thing. So that's why this standard deviation comes into picture. So see, sigma square is a variance. So you take the average of x minus mu the whole square. Okay, so x minus mu square might be a big number, big number, but when you take the average, it's a small number. So which is a good thing to know the variance of x. But then again, further you take the square root of variance. So that will again be a smaller number. Okay, so both of them, standard deviation and variance, gives us the variability in data. But standard deviation is a smaller number as compared to the variance. And that's why people play with standard deviation more. One reason. Another reason, what you can observe here is, see, your variance and standard deviation, they are always greater or equal 0. That's obvious because here is the square, these are non-negative, this is non-negative, so summation is non-negative. And standard deviation is plus square root, so both are greater or equal 0. First observation. Second thing, now here if you observe, if x, your random variable x, has a unit, say meters, what will be the unit for variance? It will be meter square because you're taking the square over here. So if unit of x is meter, unit of variance will be meter square. But what will be the unit for standard deviation? Square root of meter square. So it will be meter again. So standard deviation and the random variable x, they both share the same unit. Whereas for variance, the unit becomes the square. Okay, square units. So there is another reason that people they use standard deviation a lot. Okay, so I think I have given you enough motivation about the definition, why to take square, why not to take the square. We are taking the average again, so number is smaller. You want a more smaller number, you take standard deviation. Okay, and they are always non-negative. Okay, so that is the upshot. It gives you the variability of the data from the mean. Okay, now let's go for, okay, but before going for example, there's one very nice property there's a very nice relation between the variance and the expected value. So let us try to see that first and then we will jump to examples. So the theorem says variance is nothing but difference of expected value of x square minus expected value of x the whole square. One of the very nice result people use widely. Because if you want to find variance, what you do, you have x, then you find expected value which is e of x, then you do x minus mu for all x, then you do x minus mu whole square for all x, and then you find its expectation, x minus mu square into f of x, and then sum it up, which is a kind of long process if you have a huge data. Like you have a data of 17 million lines or billion lines, trillion lines, it's difficult. It's time consuming, not difficult, but time consuming. So people use this relation a lot. What does it say? Variance of a random variable is nothing but expectation of x square minus mu square. Proof is very simple. What is variance of a random variable? It is nothing but the expected value of some nice variable. What is that variable? X minus mu the whole square. But what is the definition? For discrete case, summation. For continuous case, integration will come. Same proof, integration d of x. Now you expand this, which is x square minus 2 mu x plus mu square. Take summation inside. For continuous case, take integration and dx inside. What is this? This is x square into probability distribution of x. So which is expectation of x square. Okay, so this is expectation of x square minus 2 mu. What is summation x f of x? It is expectation of x, which is mu. So minus 2 mu square plus mu square. What is sum of the probabilities? Is always 1. So this quantity is 1. And what is minus 2 mu square plus mu square? It is nothing but minus mu square. So sigma square is nothing but expectation of x whole square minus expectation x the whole square. So I hope the proof is clear. Now let's jump to example. So here is an example. So x is the random variable which tells you number of bad tweets. Now bad can be anything. For them vulgarity is bad, for someone anti-nationality is bad, or whatever. So I am not categorizing bad. Okay, no politics. So number of bad tweets per 100 tweets. Now if x is 2, then its probability is 0.01. That means the probability that you have 2 bad tweets per 100 tweets is 0.01. If number of 3 bad tweets per 100 tweets, the probability is 0.25 and so on. Now one can draw the probability distribution graph, the point wala graph or the histogram, whichever you like. Now I want to find the variance. So one way is, so first thing is you need to find expected value of random variable, which is summation x into f of x. So 2 into 0.01 plus 3 into 0.25 plus 1.6 plus 1.5 plus 0.24. You sum it up, you get the answer. I am not going to do that calculation. Now you find expectation of x, the whole square, which is summation x square into f of x. So 2 2s are 4. So 4 into 0.01 plus 9. So 9 into 0.25 plus 16 into 0.4 plus 25 into 0.3 plus 36 into 0.04. Then you get some number. And what is the variance? It is ultimately this quantity, whatever the answer is, let me call it alpha. So there is nothing but alpha minus mu square. So see how simple is that. Otherwise what you need to do, if you go by definition, once you find the mean mu, you have to do 2 minus mu, 3 minus mu, 4 minus mu, 5 minus mu, 6 minus mu. Whatever the answer you get, you have to take the square of that. And then multiply that square with this. Ultimately the same thing, but it's time consuming. Whereas this is quite easy. That is, I feel is easy. So there's the first homework problem for you. Tell me what is the mean and the variance for this problem. And I think now I don't need to take any example because the idea is clear. So whenever people ask you variance, then you simply try to use this formula to find the variance. If it's discrete case, summation. If it is continuous case, integration. Okay, one last point I would like to share. So if you have a random variable x with probability distribution as f of x, and you have another new random variable g of x, which is depending on x, right? So how do you find the variance of this g of x? Well, the concept is same. So variance for g of x. See, for variance the notation is sigma square, but when you have more than one random variable, it's always a good habit to write which random variable you are playing with. Okay, so always write at the suffix. So what is this? This is nothing but expectation value of, it was what, x minus. So here it will be g of x minus mu. Mu of what? The mean of g of x. And then you take the square. So for earlier case it was expectation of x minus mu the whole square. Same thing, instead of x it will be g of x and the mean of g of x the whole square. And then you apply the formula, you get the answer, which is summation of this quantity square into f of x. So that's how you find the variance for any function random variable which is obtained from the given random variable x. Let me take one example which will make the idea more clear. So here is an example for you. So this is a random variable x for which the probability distribution table is given to you. I want to find the expected value and the variance for g of x. Well, there is a very nice formula for this, but I will be taking those properties of expected value in next lecture. So as if now let's go by simple definition. Okay. So what is expected value of g of x? Which is nothing but our mu of g of x. What is that? It is summation g of x into your f of x, right? So what do you get? It is nothing but, if you just multiply inside, so 3 times summation x f of x plus 4 summation f of x, right? So this is 3 into, what is this? 0 plus 1 by 8 plus 1 plus 3 by 8 plus 4 summation f of x is always 1. So what is this? 1 by 2. So this is 3 into 3 by 2 plus 4. So what do you get? So what do you get is 9 by 2 plus 4. This is nothing but 4 2s are 8. 8 plus 9 is 17 by 2. So this is the mean, provided my calculations are right. Okay. And now I want to find the variance. So what is that? It is nothing but expected value of g of x minus its mean. So mean is 17 by 2. Whole square. So what is this? This is expected value of, what is g of x? 3x plus 4. 3x plus 4 minus 17 by 2 whole square. What is this expected value of? 3x, 4 2 is 8. 8 minus 17 is minus 9 by 2. So you have to only find expected value of this. Now that was one way to do. Now either you do 3x minus 9 by 2 whole square and then do the summation and the formula and all those things, or here itself what you can do is, here itself you can apply the formula that we did earlier. What was that formula? It was expected value of g of x square minus expected value of g of x the whole square. So that we found 17 by 2. So here it will be 17 by 2 the whole square, and we have to take g of x square, which is 9x square plus 24x plus 16, and then you find its expected value. So this is another way. Okay, so you can just spend time on this practicing, or you can look my next lecture where I'm going to tell you the properties that when you have such a thing, then how the e, which is a function, behaves well. Okay, so try it both the way. It's good to have good amount of practice. So I hope this is clear. If you have any doubt, you can ask me in the comment section, and if everything is clear, then do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you.